behold, he keepeth the sheep. And Samuel said unto Jesse, send and fetch him, for we will not sit down until he arrive. Today I'm about to tell you something. They will not sit down in the family meeting until you arrive. The bank cannot approve anybody's money until you arrive, because you have a lot of money there. Oh, you didn't hear me. You didn't hear me. Hear me, hear me. They will not sit down until you bring your husband. They will not sit down until you bring your new car. They will not sit down. They can't sit down. Someone said the other day, we cannot sit until we see the champion, until we see the next king. I don't know who I'm talking about, but they cannot sit down anymore. Yes, you are the one I'm talking to. Yes, madam, you are the one I'm speaking to. They will not sit down until your millions come. They will not sit down until your testimony comes. The Bible said the other day that heaven shall not keep mute and Zion shall not remain silent until the manifestation of your destiny. Somebody shout yes. They will not sit down. I remember I entered into a meeting in church after some years. The same people who look at my red shoe, my red belt, my red jacket, and tell me, you, who are you? Don't preach. You can't lead prayer. This is your English you speak. Which school did you attend? There's no difference between punctuations, grammatical errors, pamidodas. You just talk. And the professors in the pastoral and Sahindri body of my church will intimidate me. That is why in this ministry, I do not look down on anybody. There are people who cannot read and write now. It's just now. You don't get me. But the time is coming. You will not talk until they arrive. You will not see God until they say something. And I have the anointing to be late. The pastoral meeting starts at 10. It closes at 3. I got there 2:30 and they have not said anything. All the pastors were drinking juice. My bishop was there, everybody. And I went panicking. You know, if you have always been the last and the least, they make you lose some confidence. So when I was going, I'm like, Daniel again, Jesus. When I got there, my head pastor stood. He said, let's welcome the prophet of God. So I checked my back. I don't know which prophet they are talking about. And for a moment, I said, these people, they want to insult me. Now they want to give me a name. When I sat, the pastor said, Daniel, we have seen you over the years. We know Elohim speaks to you. The crisis of this church is not something that we can handle without a prophet. We are apostles and pastors and teachers, but we know God speaks to you. So we've been here for 4.5 hours. And nobody has said anything. We are all waiting for you. And I lifted up my eyes and say, oh God, what is my household? Who am I that you are so thoughtful of? Me that few months ago, I was just a burden on these people. Few months ago, I was an illiterate before these people. Few months ago, I was an outcast before these people. Now has come the time where they shall not speak anything until my arrival. I don't know who I'm talking to. Maybe people have looked down upon you all over the years of your life. People have intimidated you, dishonored you, disregarded you, disrespected you. But I came to announce to somebody, I came to submit to somebody, a time is coming where they shall not speak until you arrive. A time is coming, they cannot take decisions until you arrive. Say, I hear you. And he sent and brought him in. And he was a Rudy Boy. When we say Rudy, somebody who is red in color, an albino. So his appearance only disqualifies him. When you see David, you'll be angry. If they talk about beauty, even Nebuchadnezzar may be handsome. Some of you, when we look at your life, the faults are too many. When we check you, your appearance is insulting. Your English discourages people from listening to you. The clothes you wear make people not to believe even the gospel you are preaching. But hear me, what you need is not nice clothes or beauty. For beauty fades, but if you have an abide. And with dial of beauty countenance, Samuel took oil. Today I brought my horn. I will not anoint everybody. I'll call few people to anoint them. And don't be selfish and greedy about it. How many of you want to be anointed? Oh. We're gonna see. Now, oil is for medicinal purposes. The Bible said in the book of John that when the Good Samaritan was traveling from Jericho to Jerusalem and he was attacked by armed robbers, that is to tell us that armed robbery and Toti did not start in Nzanzi. It was even there in the days of Jesus. The Bible said, and the Good Samaritan, whose name was withheld by the Bible and not mentioned, took out of his bag oil to heal the wounds of the man. And the Bible said when the oil touched his body, he came back to life. There are certain things about oil you don't know. But today I want to tell you, all you need is oil. Oil will make the business well. Oil will make your life flourish. David said, thou anoint my head with oil. Hear me. And after the anointing, my cup shall run over. And then goodness and mercy just follow. The reason is because there is oil. Tap your neighbor and say, I have oil. And Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brothers. When David said, he anoints me with oil in the presence of my enemies, hear me, it was not Goliath, it was his own brothers. Can I teach? His brothers hated him so much that they had to keep him in a very thick forest where he will walk for 3 days without seeing a human being. David slept with animals to the extent that he smelled like an animal. The reason is because he was an albino, and the sons of Jesse were very handsome. They were giants. They were all in the military. So when David comes around them and they ask, oh, this is your brother, they feel shy. So once they put him in that thick forest, animals will eat him up. That is why David said, the other day when I kept over my father's sheepfold, a lion came. They know where the lions were. But hear me. Put me in the midst of lions. I will come leading the pack. I don't know who I'm talking to. Keep me in the midst of sheep. I will come leading them as a mighty man. Today, I don't care where they kept you. But hear me. I see you coming out of that situation. They think they were keeping you there so you will never be able to shine. But I stand on the word of Isaiah and say, arise and shine, for thy light has come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. Shout yes. David says, and thou anoints my head with oil in the presence of my enemies. The enemies were not external enemies, oh, internal enemies. They are people around us. They eat with us. They sleep with us. They come to church with us. But in their heart, their mouth speaks good, but their heart mean war. Hear me. There are some levels of enemies you don't kill. I taught this somewhere, I don't remember. But there are 3 dimensions of enemies. We have enemies like this that you don't kill. and God will anoint you in the presence of them. Be on your feet.